Halloween. You know what that means.
You're listening to Fun with Horror with your hosts, Scotty and Andrew.
Hello, friends with horror. This is Scotty.
And this is Andrew.
And happy Halloween, Andrew.
Happy Halloween, Scotty. Oh my gosh.
It is a bonus episode, special episode, Friday Halloween episode.
Awesome. I love it. Friday the 31st, which backwards is Friday the 13th.
Oh, crap. That's amazing. And it's October.
Oh, could it get any better?
Happy Halloween, buddy.
Happy Halloween, man. I love this. I'm excited to do this with you, bud.
Tell the people at home, or let's not assume that everybody's at home.
It's true.
Some people might be driving in their cars. Some people, what if somebody has their AirPods in and they're listening to this while they trick or treat?
What an honor.
I just blew your mind.
It's like we're there with you.
We are. We're there trick or treating with you.
Wait, stop. There's a car coming. I just saved your life.
There you go. Andrew's a lifesaver. That's what he
Not all
does.
heroes wear capes.
Some of them wear masks.
I mean, yeah.
Anyway, set the scene, buddy. What are we doing here? What do we have?
Well, this was your idea, and I love it because we're getting in the mood, I should say. So you said, what if we got some snacks, some Halloween snacks or candy? So you and I both got some amazing Halloween candy that I feel like is a little controversial. It's a little bit infamous.
It is.
It is. But you and I got candy corn, which, yeah.
Give me all the candy corn.
It's just straight up sugar, and I love it. There's nothing wrong with it.
But it's sugar in the shape of a corn.
That's true. And if you stack them together, it makes an ear of corn.
Yes. I've seen that video. But not just that. We have the lights out.
Mm-hmm.
We both have our Halloween candles lit. Does yours smell?
It does. It's pumpkin smell. Yeah.
Mine is vanilla pumpkin.
Look at that.
Look at that. Bowie is checking me out right now. Ziggy's in the background.
I'm checking you out, too.
Oh, I'm checking you out.
Oh, stop.
I'm checking myself out in the reflection of your computer screen on your glasses.
I see that. Now that you say it, I'm like, oh, yeah, there you are.
Buddy, what are we going to do today? We're going to, you had an idea.
Well, yeah.
You said the people love lists.
They do. And actually, this was my wife's idea. She mentioned some lists, and I said, "Oh, it's a great call."
Then I did some thinking on my own, and I came up with a couple of little lists that will take up a little bit of time, but they're fun.
They are fun.
So here's what we're going to do, people. First, we're going to talk about our favorite, most memorable horror movie watching experiences. Because, buddy, you and I, ever since we did our top 10 favorite movies list on our 10th episode, we've always thought about what else would we do. And one idea we've always had is to talk about our most memorable horror movie watching experiences.
Yes, indeed. Indeed.
Now, this isn't going to be just great movies that we watched. It's the experience of watching them.
Yes, exactly.
And then after that, we thought that we would have some fun and talk about the big 5 slashers.
Mm-hmm.
What are those 5, buddy?
That would be Michael Myers from the Halloween franchise, Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th franchise, Charles Lee Ray, a.k.a. Chucky, from the Child's Play / Chucky franchise, Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise, and Frederick or Freddy Krueger from the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise.
Or Frederico.
That's true. Federico.
But yeah, so we're going to talk about those 5 franchises. We're going to rank them real quick. We're going to name our favorite movie in each of those franchises, but we have a rule, and we'll talk about those later.
Yeah.
But buddy, before I wanted to tell you this story for a while.
Yay, okay.
Story time.
Stories.
Halloween story, actually.
Yes.
But I was saving it for this episode because I think it's a good story to tell before we talk about slasher movies and whatnot. But something recently happened to me that changed the way I view horror movies.
Oh, okay. I don't know this.
As you know, I recently went to see all 7 Nightmare on Elm Street movies at the Alamo Drafthouse Cinema.
Correct.
Each movie was on a different night, so I would go to this cinema and watch a movie. So it was the night, I believe, of A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4.
Okay.
No, actually, it was not. I'm lying to you. I believe it was Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors.
Warriors.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of those dreams.
Right. Yeah, there's a few dreams in there.
Normally, you park on the 4th floor of this parking complex. Then you go to the side. You don't go down the main elevators. You go to the side, and there's like a little outdoor corridor that leads to an elevator shaft. And you go down 2 floors in this elevator. You go out, and then there's the theater, right?
Cool. Yeah, got it.
So this night, they had level 4 parking closed. Level 5 parking was open, so you had to go up to level 5, park your car, take the main elevator down to 4, get out of that elevator, then go to this outdoor elevator, the theater elevator. So I do this. I'm by myself. There's nobody else on level 4. So as I'm getting close to this little outdoor corridor, there's a guy, and he's standing there, and he's hanging out this window to the side of the little corridor, looking out into the courtyard of this big place where the theater is. Anybody that's been to Alamo Drafthouse in LA knows what I'm talking about. I go over, I hit the button for the elevator, and as I'm standing there, I hear the guy go, and I look over, and it is a homeless man. What looks like a homeless man, a vagrant. We're in downtown LA, so
right, yeah.
There's lots of vagrants around there. He's just chilling, and he's kind of looking at me. He's got sunken eyes, glassy. He's got a hoodie on. I just nod to him real quick, and then I just kind of look at the courtyard. So the elevator doors open. I go inside. As I'm hitting the button, I see that this guy has come out into that little corridor where I was standing.
Okay.
I hit the button, and he comes into the elevator with me.
Oh, boy.
Now, I have talked to a friend about this. What is the smart move here? Should I have jumped out of the elevator and gone back to the other elevators? Should I have stayed in the elevator? Who knows? I stayed.
Ooh, look at you.
So the elevator closed, and I'm a little bit nervous because as the doors close, I realize this guy could kill me right now. This guy could take out a knife or a gun, but, you know, knife was in my head and just start stabbing the hell out of me. The guy, in his kind of drugged, drunken stupor, says, "What's that on your shirt?" I just played it cool. I said, "It's Nightmare on Elm Street. Have you ever seen it?" And he goes, And I'm like, "You should see it. It's a really good movie." And I'm just standing there. Then it's kind of quiet, and he's just standing there. But then the elevator doors open. I get out. I go into the theater. I tell the security guard, "Hey, look, there's a guy. He looks like a homeless guy. He got in the elevator with me. He wasn't going anywhere in particular. He was definitely following me. That's him out there." And I saw the guy walk by. So the security guard went and did his thing. That was the end of it. That was the end of the story. Nothing happened. But in my mind, as I was watching that Nightmare on Elm Street movie, I was watching characters do certain things that the audience might go, "What the hell are you doing, you idiot?"
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, you know what? I stayed in that elevator. You never know what you're going to do in a situation like that until you're actually in the situation.
That's a good point, man. That's very true. You're right.
And if I was in a horror movie, if that was a horror movie and somebody had been watching, I guarantee people in the audience would have been like, get out of the elevator. He just followed you in. Run, get out.
That's true.
Now, of course, I had a friend, on a side note, I had a friend tell me that getting out of the elevator wouldn't have done any good. If the guy was looking to cause harm to me, he would have just followed me back out of the elevator and to the other elevators. And the fact that I ran from him might have provoked him. And he said the best thing to do in a situation like that is to engage with the person and to just be like, hey, how's it going? You know, what are you doing? How's your night? And just kind of catch them off guard because they're looking for you to like be nervous and whatever. I don't think he was. I think the guy was just, I think he was just drunk and I don't know. I don't know what he was doing.
Right. Yeah.
But he could have tried to rob me, but you never know. So from here on, and actually, as I watched the rest of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, I always had that in my mind. When I saw characters doing something questionable, I was like, I don't know. I did something stupid.
That's fair, man. Wow, that's a good lesson though. I like that. I feel like I'm gonna try and use that the next time I go. What a dumb character.
Yeah.
Well, wait, you don't know. I'm gonna try that.
Scotty's an idiot. So
You're not. You're not. First of all.
Anyway, let's talk about our horror movie watching experiences, buddy.
Yes.
Henry, it's Halloween, not Hanukkah.
All right, so buddy, as we said, this isn't just about watching great horror movies because I've seen some great horror movies. That's the only reason those experiences are memorable, but there are other experiences that you truly remember. So I'm going to let you start. Tell me about one of your most memorable experiences.
All right. So I'll take you back to the first one that I remember. I went to, and I was, this was, I think it came out in 99. So I was 9-ish, maybe. I wasn't good with horror yet. In fact, horror was very frightening to me. Chucky, even through that point, made me very nervous. So I didn't do well with horror, but what happened was, I'll give you the full story. I mean, what happened was my cousin was born very, very early and was in the ICU, I guess, because he was born really early. And we wanted to take my uncle out. It was my mom, dad, and me. And we wanted to take him out to, get his mind off things and try and just kind of, there's a lot going on. Forward ahead, my cousin's great. He's doing awesome, and he's a really cool dude. But at the time, it was very scary. And so we took him out. And we went and saw The Sixth Sense.
Ooh.
Yeah, which, watching it now, I mean, I love The Sixth Sense. I love that movie. At the time, I was real freaked out, buddy. I was so scared in that theater, and I was right next to my mom. And I'm not going to spoil this, but, I mean, if you know The Sixth Sense, there's a bit of a twist. My mom was like me now, where she got the twist about 30 seconds into a movie, any movie, and without saying anything, or without doing like a spoiler warning, she goes, "Oh, this is this." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So the whole movie I knew the ending like after the first 5 minutes. Thanks, Mom. But to be fair, though, I did have my eyes closed for a lot of it, so I probably wouldn't have even figured anything out. But what makes this story funny, or at least why, was one, I mean, it was one of the first movies I remember going to in the theaters where I was scared. I was genuinely scared. But two, and it's hard because it's hard to tell this story without spoiling the movie. But at one point when we find out the twist, and there was four, like it was just us in the theater, which is wild. It was like just the four of us, and my dad and uncle are sitting like in front of us a little bit just to hang out. And right when we find out the twist, both of them simultaneously yell out what the twist is in shock at the same time, and Mom and I start laughing. I mean, this whole movie's been freaking me out, but it was kind of this little relief towards the end of the movie where they go, blah, 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 saying like, that's the twist. And we just start giggling. And my mom puts her hand, does like a face palm and is like, I had that figured out an hour and a half ago, guys. Like, come on. But the both of them just yell at the same time, which they never talk during movies, but it was just such a funny moment and such a weird experience But I'll never forget it. I will never forget that night for as long as I live, just because it was just so much in one night in this little theater.
And now we know where you get your innate ability of figuring out twists before they happen.
It's 100% from my mom. Dad gets lost in movies, so it's Mom.
That's okay.
That's all right. Yeah. What about you, buddy? I want to hear your first story.
Well, so I'm going to go back too.
Yay.
I'm going to go back to when I was 11 years old. And for those longtime listeners of Fun with Horror, these are probably stories that you've heard before, if you remember every single episode we've done, because Andrew and I have told little stories here and there, but we're compiling them in this one episode. So if you ever want to listen to Storytime, this is the episode.
Nice.
So I was 11 years old. I was a young actor. I was in a play. And I had been reading Fangoria magazine for a while now. Fangoria had this article on a movie that was coming out soon called A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Ooh.
So I was super excited. Everything about this article was piquing my curiosity. And it's one of those things, you just get it so built up in your head and you can't wait to see something because you've been reading about it. The movie probably came out in theaters at some point, but I'm too young to know about it. So finally it comes out on VHS, comes out on home video. I have rehearsal on a Friday night. My mom, on the way to rehearsal, we stop by the video store and I rent A Nightmare on Elm Street. I think I had even reserved it because I was so fanatic about seeing this movie. So I go to this rehearsal. I get through it. Super excited. We get home. I go into the den, which it's our living room, but we called it the den.
Mm-hmm.
I lay on the couch and I start watching this movie. Partway into the movie, my mom, who was in the back of the house, comes into the kitchen, through the kitchen, and Scott, I'm going to close this door. I can't stand listening to all this screaming and stuff. So she didn't like the noise, so she closed the door to the kitchen. That is where the only light was coming from. So now I'm in the pitch dark, 11-year-old Scotty watching A Nightmare on Elm Street. I watched this entire movie. It's so good. You know, I think people have heard of it. It's a classic.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
So the movie ends. I go to the back of the house where my room is next to my mom's. I get in bed and I am so freaking scared to go to sleep that I get back out of bed. I go back out to the living room and I put Dumbo into the VHS player. And I put on Dumbo and I fall asleep watching Dumbo. I had to sit there and watch Dumbo and concentrate on it so that I wasn't thinking about Freddy Krueger when I went to sleep. And that's that story.
I love that. I love that. Because I get it. I totally understand that feeling of I gotta watch something light right now because I can't go to bed with this. So I love that story.
And the other
darling.
thing I love about it is that I think about movies that have scared me semi more recently, like The Blair Witch Project or Paranormal Activity.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget that there were a couple movies back in the day that really scared the hell out of me. And Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm very happy to say, was one of them.
I love that. What a good one to be scared of, man. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, story number 2. And this one's much shorter, but it's just, again, it was the experience. So Cindy, my wife, was graduating college, so we went to Idaho, where she was grad. She did it online, but we wanted to do the ceremony. She got her bachelor's, so we wanted to go celebrate. And my mom went, and we had Kylie, of course. She was much younger. Sure, her voice probably sounded very similar to our intro, which it does not anymore.
Oh, yeah. And if you want to hear what Kylie sounds like now, join our Patreon, because our more recent Patreon episodes, we had Kylie record a new intro for those, and her voice is much deeper.
It is. It's so weird to hear, man. I was like, oh, wow. Because I've grown with it, but now when I hear them both back to back, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so much older. Oh, it's crazy. Anyway, so we went out and we got our hotel and everything, and my mom was like, I'll watch Kylie. Why don't you go on a date? Go do something, go get dinner, go to a movie. We said, awesome. That sounds great. Let's do that. So thanks, Mama. So we went and had some yummy dinner, and we said, let's go see A Quiet Place. I think that it had just come out, it had just come out. So let's go see it. So we go to the theater and we get our snacks. I mean, it's a staple. Even though we were, I'm sure, full from dinner, it's just we have to get the popcorn. Even if we don't eat much, it's just you have to. It's part of the ritual in our family. And so we got our popcorn, got our snacks, and we sat down. And we're whispering like everyone during some of the trailers and stuff like that. Honestly, the second that movie starts and it's quiet, and this is a full theater. I mean, this is full. And at the time, we'd come from a city that we lived in where people were not respectful. I'll just say that. Not respectful at all in theaters. And it was really a shame. So I was a little nervous going, I'm like, oh man, people are going to be loud. This is a full theater and no one says anything. I have never been to a movie where the audience was as quiet as the movie A Quiet Place. It was incredible. To the point where at one point, I think I've mentioned this on the podcast as well. At one point, Cindy grabs the popcorn and she just takes like a bite, and I slowly looked at her like, what are you doing? It's so loud. I mean, it was so dead silent. She like put the popcorn down. Mind you, I'm not mean. It was more a joke, but we both were just like, wow, that's so loud. Even though she has her mouth closed, she's chewing popcorn, but it was that quiet where we're like, we can hear that. So we like didn't eat any popcorn. We didn't eat like anything because it was because the audience, it was great because the audience was doing it, but two, like that movie does such a good job of captivating you. You feel like you're in this universe with this family. So you're trying to almost be quiet as well. And we all felt it. So it was just such a cool experience to see this full theater and no one said a word the entire movie, dead silent. It was perfect. So it was a great moment.
You know what I love about that?
What?
Is that when I saw A Quiet Place in a theater, I had the exact same experience, down to watching the person I was with looking at her when she ate a piece of popcorn.
I love
just
you.
That movie.
It really
just
is.
That movie. On a side note, everybody, our friends Chuddle the Pod, they just recently did an episode about A Quiet Place. So plug. Go listen to Chuddle the Pod and go find that episode.
Awesome. That's so great. They're so cool.
My second story is not such a short one, but
great.
This is probably the most memorable, the most fun and scary horror movie watching experience I've ever had. So, The Blair Witch Project. I mentioned it at the end of my last story, and it's good that I mentioned it because it segues into this one. About 6-7 months before that movie was released in theaters, a lot of people will know this history, but just in case you don't, there were bootleg VHS copies of this movie floating around. So I go to work one night. I worked graveyard, and a couple of the people there are sitting there telling me, hey, we went to this ski vacation this weekend, and while we were there, we watched a movie called The Blair Witch Project. It is the scariest movie I have ever seen. Oh my God. And they told the premise. They said it's about these 3 kids that go into the woods to search for this witch, and they're never seen again. And the movie is the videotapes the video that they were filming, right? That found footage wasn't a huge thing at that point. So my curiosity, my horror movie hackles went up. I wanted to see this movie. It was kind of like Nightmare on Elm Street, where I wanted to see this movie badly, right? It was so bad, I started looking up stuff. I'm like, is this real? Because the people on the vacation, they couldn't tell me. They didn't know. They're
wow.
We don't know. We don't know. It's just this bootleg, this videotape that somebody gave us. It seems like it's real, but it can't be, right? It can't be. I kind of found a review by Roger Ebert where he kind of gave it away that it wasn't real. I mean, obviously it's not real. Come on. Right. But we didn't know back then.
Right.
So one day I go home from work and it's in the morning and I get home and all of a sudden my phone rings and they're like, Scotty, this is so-and-so from work. We have a Blair Witch Project for you. Again, this is still like 6 months before the movie is even released in theaters.
Oh my gosh.
So I immediately get back in my car and I go and I get this tape. Just having the tape in my possession, I am scared crapless. Because I don't know. I've heard rumors, but I have no idea what happens to these kids on this tape in this movie. So I'm like scared. I am scared of this movie. I think I didn't watch it until the next day because I told a friend of mine that I had the tape and she's like, come over, bring it over. And it was like 3 or 4 of us that were going to watch it together. And I think I watched it the next day and I was scared until I watched it. I watched it on her couch. I had a pillow, and throughout that entire movie, I just kept getting more and more scared. And I just held this pillow. Let me tell you something, buddy. I think I've told you this before. The bootleg VHS of this movie was a lot scarier than what they released in theaters.
Oh, I don't know if I did know that.
This is not huge spoilers. Most everybody has seen the Blair Witch Project.
Right.
But there is a scene in the movie where the 3 kids are in a tent. Something shakes the tent and they run out, right?
Yep.
In the VHS bootleg, when the shaking happens, the noises that are coming from outside the tent are louder. And when they go out of the tent, you hear like this noise in the background that sounds like a cross between a baby crying and an old lady cackling. It's like this sound. That terrified the hell out of me. When I saw the final version, the theatrical version, I met the directors afterwards, and I actually asked them. I asked one of them, why did you get rid of those sounds? Like, I saw a tape early. That's why I was a huge part of the community of Blair Witch Project, which I'll get to. But why did you take out those sounds? And he was saying that they wanted to make it more subtle. They wanted to make the audience feel like they weren't sure what they were hearing. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But inside my mind, I'm going like, what? Like, that was the scariest part of the movie, man. Like, that terrified me. I went out to my back carport one night, and a cat was in the back carport, and it goes, meow, and I jumped just because of a Blair Witch Project. The other thing about this videotape is that there was a few stupid things cut out. Like, there's a shot of Mike on the front window of the car while they're driving, and like you can see his butt crack and everything, and it's a cute, funny part. But what it does is it lends more realism to the fact that like they're just shooting stuff, you know?
Right.
It just made it feel more real. The other thing is that obviously when they go to put this movie out, they're transferring the video that they've shot to film.
True. Yes.
The videotape that I have is still video. So it still feels like video, and it feels so raw and real.
Oh, that's cool.
I still need to get a videotape to Blu-ray or DVD recorder and find that tape before it just gets crumbled into bits, because I still have it somewhere in my closet. But
that's
after
awesome.
that, I was scared for like a week. I remember one night I had to go to work at like 11 o'clock or midnight, and I go out, and the elevator at my apartment complex, just 2 stories, but I hit the button, the elevator opens, and the lights are off in the elevator. I ran to the stairs. That's how scared I was. That's how shook that movie made me at the time.
I love it.
I would get home from work during the day. I would open my curtains and turn on the TV. I was scared during the day. That movie did something to me, man.
That's amazing.
And no movie scared me that badly until Paranormal Activity, which scared me even more than Blair Witch scared me.
Wow. I love that.
But then the cool thing is that this was the beginning of online forums and stuff like that. And if you went to the Haxon website, which was basically the Blair Witch website, there was a whole forum, a community of people that chatted every night. And so that's how I got to go to the Los Angeles premiere. I was invited.
Sweet.
I was invited after the movie to go to this party in the Hollywood Hills that people were throwing for the directors.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't honestly remember meeting Eduardo, but I know for sure that Dan Myrick was there. So
Cool.
in fact, he may have been the only one there, but I'm not certain. But it was a whole thing, and I loved that I was part of that community, and that when I went up to Dan after the movie and I was like, "Hey, I'm Bungle Boy from the website." And he's like, "Oh, hey man, how's it going?" He knew who I was.
That's so cool.
So, yeah, I was like a huge part of the whole online advertising promotion to theater release experience, and I loved being part of that.
That's so cool.
And there you go. Blair Witch Project.
That is so cool, man. That's a pretty sweet thing. I remember you had mentioned at one point when we were talking just kind of about you talking with people, but I didn't know about the premiere and stuff. That's really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Wow, look at you. Okay, so like you mentioned, longtime listeners know some of our stories, or may remember them. Maybe they don't. So this is definitely one I've talked about. We've had a pretty big conversation about it before, but recently something else happened with this movie that you don't even know. So I will tell you all about my interesting times with The Conjuring. And I'm using different times I've seen it as one because it's the same movie, but things have always happened. So I'm cheating a little bit, buddy, but I think it's okay to do. I'm going to say it's okay. So the first time I ever watched this, I had moved out of LA, or I moved out of LA. I moved from LA, moved back in with mom and dad, and they were gone on some trip. I don't know where. So I had the place to myself, and I went on to see what was on. I think it was like Channel 1 where you get movies or whatever. I don't remember, but I see The Conjuring. I'm like, let's do it. I will watch that. And I'm sitting there and I'm like into this movie, man. I am captivated by this movie. And I'm like, I've never seen anything like this. This is amazing. And about halfway through the movie, wind outside, and it was like a nice day, but wind just starts going nuts outside. And my parents at the time had a hot tub in the back, which was pretty cool. And as I'm watching, I think it's right. Actually, I know when it is. I don't know why I never bring this one up. I talk about it, but it's true. There's a scene. That's so funny. There's a scene where there's wind in the movie where Lorraine is doing laundry, and a sheet flies off and it hits like a spirit, and you get a little jump scare. It was right around that time where the wind started picking up, and outside on their hot tub, the cover just flings open and makes this loudest smack I've ever heard. I thought it was a gunshot at first. Because it just go boom, and I go, and I pause it, and I go look, and I go, gosh, I gotta go fix that. So I fix it, but I'm like, now I'm shaking. I mean, that scared me, and I'm nervous. I'm already nervous from the movie, but now things are happening. So that happens, and then a little bit later, birds fly through the window in the movie, and sure enough, same night, same time, a bird hits our window right at that moment. A bird. I know. To this day, I think about it, I get goosebumps. I'm like, that was insane. So that was the first time I watched it. And I again, I'm by myself at this house, so I think I did have the lights on that night. And I'm almost positive that I think it was probably The Simpsons. I had a Christmas DVD of The Simpsons, and I'm 90% sure that was playing all night in my room so I could sleep.
Good choice.
I think so, yeah. Then, the next time at least I remember watching it was with Cindy. We had moved in together, we're married, we're laying in bed, and we're watching The Conjuring, and there's a scene where the light bulb pops in the movie. Sure enough, right around that time, we hear something. We think, we hear something like out in the hallway. She's like, you go check. I'm like, we'll go check. So we both get up. Because Kylie's in the other room. I'm like, I'm not going. I'm brave, everyone. I'm tough. No, so we get up, and I kind of peek out, and I turn the light on, and of course, pop. The light bulb pops. And we both look at each other like, you're kidding. Like, this is creepy. This is real creepy. That was it, though. That was the only experience on that one. Okay. Then we have our good friend, Pastor Dan.
Pastor Dan,
friend of the show. He comes over because he listens to our podcast.
One of our first friends of the show.
That's true. One of our very first friends of the show. Good old Pastor Dan. Love Pastor Dan. But he he'd been listening to our podcast and heard that story, and he's like, I want to watch with you. I want to see if anything happens. The one time nothing happens is when there's a pastor at the home, which I was like,
Well.
thanks a lot, Dan.
Makes sense.
It makes sense, yeah. Which did make me laugh. So then recently, this one you hadn't heard yet, I'm watching, because Last Rites was coming out, and I was like, we had tickets, and I said, oh man, I wish I could watch them all, but I'm going to do the first one. I got to rewatch it, you know. And Cindy was out doing something for, I think, Enzo's school or something, so I'll watch it at home by myself, or Enzo was asleep, and I'm watching it, and there's that scene where the mom, I can't think of her name right now, in the house with all the family, she keeps waking up with bruises. She keeps waking up with all these, like, random bruises. And the next day I wake up and I look in the mirror and I have this huge bruise on my ear, my earlobe. Never had a bruise there before. And I'm like, and it didn't even hit me until later when I was like, I watched Conjuring last night. Like it hit me and I was like, oh my gosh, another thing. So yeah, it seems like anytime I watch those, something weird happens that is just, I don't know. It just seems to always happen. But because of it, it makes that movie even more fun and enjoyable in a really creepy way. But like I said, I'm cheating a little bit, but each experience had something.
That is creepy. No, that's a full experience.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
What I love about that story is that Pastor Dan is just like, I want to see this. I want to see something happen. He's like inviting it. Like, you're a pastor. Stop inviting the devil, man.
It was amazing. I know his wife was like, I'm not going. We're like, okay.
Who do you think you are, Father Marin? Stop it. That's an exorcist.
I got that reference now. Which, if anyone wants to know, we did an episode on The Exorcist. Take a listen. Go back and listen. If you haven't heard it, listen for the first time. If you have, listen for the second, third time. Doesn't matter.
But not The Conjuring. We have not done it. Oh, we did The Conjuring 3.
We did do The Conjuring 3. And at some point we might do Last Rites. Who knows?
Possibly.
Who knows?
But I've got my third story.
Yes, please.
I actually have a few, and I was wondering which one I was going to want to tell. But I settled on one. So this one is very sentimental. I can't remember if this happened after I watched Poltergeist with my dad, which I've talked about on the podcast more than once, or if it was before. Either way, Poltergeist, I still consider the first horror movie that I ever really, really watched, or where my love of horror began. But there was a different day where I was sick. I went to school. I had an upset tummy, and I ended up staying home. I can't remember if my dad picked me up or if he just stayed home with me. Either way, it was me and my dad. My stomach was just queasy as heck. And my dad, he gave me some medicine. I can't remember what it was. It might have been Ipecac. Whatever it was, the moment I put it in my mouth, I threw up. I immediately felt slightly better. Slightly, I think I felt a lot better if I remember right. But still, I was homesick, so my dad and I, we went out to the living room to watch TV. We ended up watching this movie, and it starred Jack Palance, or Palance, however you say it, and Martin Landau. It was about an alien that came to Earth, and it killed people by throwing these little aliens that were disc-shaped that would attach to people and start biting into them. And like I can't remember if it sucks their blood, but it kills them. These little discs. And I don't know. I love that movie when I was a kid. I remember watching it, and the fact that I watched it with my dad was really special to me. And it took me many, many years until the internet existed, and one day I just thought in my head, hey, you know what? I'm going to look this up. And I start looking up what is this movie, and I find out that it's a movie called Without Warning. Actually, I think I knew the name of it. So I think I knew what the movie was, but I had never seen any sign of it since that day. But I look up Without Warning. There it is. It exists. I think another name for it is It Came Without Warning. But there's a movie. And even better, the day that I decided to look it up, I find out that there is a Shout Factory version of this Blu-ray that has like commentary and everything. So I now own Without Warning. And It's not a big story. It's just very memorable to me because I just remember being home with my dad, and it's one of those things where you just see a movie at a young age with somebody who you love, somebody very special. And then maybe like 20-something years later, you think about that movie and you look it up for the first time ever since that day, and you find out that that movie still exists. And then you get the Blu-ray, and then you rewatch it, and you're like, oh, yeah, this is that movie. And it's so special that one day, out of nowhere, I decided to buy you a copy of the Blu-ray, Andrew.
I know. I have it sitting right there. I can see it.
I had it in my head one day like this could go out of print. So I want to get it for Andrew because it's very special to me, even though he may hate it. It's a very special movie, and I want him to have a copy.
Oh, that's sweet. I love that story, buddy. I think that was very sweet. And
Thank you, buddy.
I love sentimental stories, so that was very nice.
I got one more.
Oh, yeah?
But it's a story for both of us.
Oh?
It's one we've told.
I have a feeling I might know.
You do know. You do know. Because everybody, we've told this story so many times. We've talked about this day so many times. But I was wondering if Andrew would bring it up in his movies. I wrote it down just in case.
I did have it, but I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know if you're going to do it or if we're doing like ones on our own. So I did have that, though. That was definitely one of my stories that I was thinking about.
Well, let's just say it. For both of us, one of our most memorable horror movie watching days was when Andrew came over and we watched Martyrs and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes.
That double feature, that beautiful, uplifting double feature.
That's a Sunday morning set of movies right there, man. That's like nice.
Well, in all honesty, I feel like it was a Sunday, right?
I think it might have been, man. I do think it might have been. But it definitely was night, and it was definitely dark. I remember that.
I just love that day. I love that we watched those two movies in the same day. I love that you had never seen either movie.
Yeah.
I love that you were game to watch Martyrs, even though I told you that it was very brutal.
Yeah. And this is the original Martyrs, for all of those wondering. This is like, the Martyrs.
Yeah, the American version doesn't exist as far as we're concerned.
That's right.
But yeah, that was a very, very special day.
It was. And yeah, I remember too, it was a blast. Like, I did love watching them with you. Like I did anytime we watched stuff. It was always fun to sit there and just enjoy it with you. But like, I remember after both of them just feeling like, oh man, that was fun, but I feel kind of gross. Like, I just feel like, there was nothing happy in either of those movies. Like, there was no light. And then, as I've said before, like on my way out to my car, speaking of things where you don't know what you do until you're there, I got in my car and a homeless man comes and knocks on my door, on my window, and I roll it down. Not all the way, just a little bit, but I still rolled it down. And he was like, "You got any money?" And I was like, buddy, I'm a struggling actor. I have no money." So he's like, "Okay."
Yeah.
But it was still one of those where I'm like, I don't want to talk to anyone. I'm scared. Like, this was a rough night.
I'm pretty sure we watched Texas Chainsaw second, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive.
Which is good because in the context of those two movies, we did watch the more fun, uplifting one second. We ended on a high note.
That's true. You know what? You're right. You're right.
Well, buddy, that's story time. So everybody, we hope you enjoyed some stories with fun with horror.
Yeah, that was nice.
But let's talk about some slasher movies.
Yeah.
The boogeyman is coming. Leave me alone. He doesn't believe us. Don't you know what happens on Halloween? Yeah, we get candy. Boogeyman, ooh, the boogeyman, the boogeyman, the boogeyman, the boogeyman.
So as we mentioned, let's just start real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Let's rank the five big, who we call them the five big ones.
Right. And I think most people would, kind of agree with that.
I think some people might add Scream these days, but we're not going to do that. Besides other reasons that friends of ours know about, the other reason I thought of that I don't really want to add Scream is that the killer is a different person in each movie.
Very true.
Whereas for the most part, in the series that we're going to talk about, it's the same killer for the most part.
Yes. Yeah. Very good.
So let's start by ranking, and I'll let you go first, buddy. From 5th to 1st, how would you rank the Big 5 series?
So you want me to do all 5 right now? 5, or do you want me to do 5 and then you do 5?
You do number 5. What's your 5th?
Even though we just talked about it and how much joy we had with it, I gotta put Leatherface as my number 5.
Number 5 is Leatherface.
Number 5 is Leatherface. And I'll be honest with you. Well, no, you know what? We'll save it for when we talk about our favorite ones.
We
I'm
will
gonna save that.
That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
My number 5 is Friday the 13th.
I thought that might be the case.
Yeah. Again, this is things that longtime listeners of ours won't be surprised about, but it's fun to talk about. Yeah. I love all of these series of movies.
Right. Yep.
This is like picking which child is your least favorite and the one you would leave out in the cold if you could only bring 4 in.
That's right. That's right.
The one you'd leave behind if a masked murderer was chasing you all.
Right. Unfortunately, I only have 2 kids, so we're safe.
Oh, no, you still have to leave one. You can only bring one inside.
Well,
Bye,
and
Cindy.
that's the end of the podcast. No.
What's your okay, number 4 for you?
Number 4, and this one will surprise you, buddy, because I know that this one will be higher on your list.
Uh-oh.
And that's Nightmare on Elm Street, buddy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And again, like you said, I want to specify this too. These are all great series. I love them all. This is just ranking them for us, but I love them all. But that's
all
my
right.
number 4. What about you, bud?
I think I'm going to do something that kind of parallels you here.
Uh-oh, yeah?
My number 4 is Chucky.
Yeah. When you said I'm going to parallel, I was like, it's going to be Chucky.
Yeah.
I knew
Chucky's
it.
number 4.
I love it. I love this.
Number 3.
Number 3, we got to go with my hockey mask friend, Jason Voorhees of Friday the 13th.
This is very interesting. This is very interesting because my number 3 is Texas Chain Saw. What?
What is happening?
What is happening?
I love this, though. I love it.
What's number 2, buddy?
Number 2 is Michael Myers' Halloween.
What? That's my number 2.
Hey!
My number 2 is Halloween.
I love this.
Tell us your number 1, buddy. We know
Process
what it is,
of
but tell us.
elimination for all of you listening. You know it is Chucky, man. Chucky's my boy, so Chucky is my favorite.
I'm
What
not
about-
surprised at that.
Yeah.
And you're not surprised that Nightmare on Elm Street is my favorite series.
Yep. I love
amazing.
that our favorite one is the exact same spot on the others list. Like, you know, my number 4 was your number 1. My number 1 was your number 5. It's beautiful. It's brilliant.
The only one that was the same was Halloween as our
Yep.
number 2s. That's
I
interesting.
love it. It's fun.
Everybody, if you're still listening, if you haven't turned off the podcast, leave us comments and tell us your ranking or even what your favorite of our Big 5 is.
Yes, please. That would be fun. I would love to actually. I genuinely would love that list. So please comment.
But now for our next list, what Andrew and I are going to do is we're going to go through all 5 of the Big 5, and we're going to name our favorite movie from each series. But our one rule about this is that we cannot pick the original movie in the series.
Correct.
Because, at least for me, with a few of these series, the original movie is the easy choice.
Agreed. I agree.
So other than the original movie, what is your favorite?
Yep.
Let's start with Friday the 13th.
I feel like I've been starting these. You want to start this one?
No,
Well, you're-
no. I like this back and forth, and we'll
All
keep
right.
going back and forth because you're first. Friday the 13th. Well, because we're both going to say our favorites of each
That's
series.
true. That's true.
So,
Buddy, I think I'm going to take your thunder on this one, though. And
wait. Let's just say something though.
Okay.
There's no thunder. There's no thunder to take. It's a thunderstorm shared, buddy.
That's true. You're right.
We are both the god of thunder. Anyway, the other thing that Andrew and I talked about is that we were like, should we allow remakes as a possible favorite other than the original? And we said yes. But if that happens, we will also say what our favorite is of the main series. Okay?
Yes. Yep.
So go ahead, steal the thunder.
So I'm stealing it, but man, I was thinking about this, and I really did put a lot of time into thinking about these ones, buddy. But that remake is so good. It really is it's one of the best remakes. I mean, it's so good, and it encapsulates kind of 1 through 3 in one movie, and it's scary.
Speak to me, child. Speak to me.
Scary. Jason runs. I mean, come on, man. He's got traps. I love it. I genuinely love that movie. So I got to go with the remake.
And the remake is also mine. I'm going to take it a quick step further.
Please.
And say that, as everybody probably knows, unless you're brand new to Fun with Horror, the remake is my favorite Friday the 13th movie, period. So I can easily pick that over the original.
I agree. Although I will say, without spoiling the original, there is a character in it I love.
Okay.
And that's about all I can say. Without
Ralph.
spoiling it.
It's Ralph.
That was 3. Wasn't it 3?
No, he's
Was he
dead
in the
by
first
3.
one?
Yeah, Ralph is in 1 and 2.
Oh, gosh, you're right. Yeah, he was. Yep.
You're doomed.
Doomed. Then he gets on
You
his
thought
bike.
I was talking about somebody else.
I did for a second. I thought, yeah.
Okay, so we both picked the remake. If
Right.
you had to choose between Friday the 13th 2 through Jason X, what would you pick?
I would pick 2. I got to go with 2. I think there was something so creepy and iconic. And I mean, obviously, the hockey mask is iconic. We know Jason is hockey. He wears a hockey mask. Wasn't until 3, but 2, that the burlap sack he wears, just like this homemade makeshift sack. That's it. I mean, it was like, it just was creepy. It just was really creepy and eerie. And there's something about his look in that movie that just does it for me. I'm like, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
One thing I love about the Friday the 13th series is that I've asked multiple people what their favorite Friday the 13th is between Friday the 13th 1 and Jason X. And I truly feel like so many people have different choices, and I love that.
Nice.
It's not a foregone conclusion that somebody's going to choose 2 or that somebody's going to choose Jason Lives,
Right.
I've talked to somebody who says New Beginning is their favorite.
Hey, awesome. Great.
I've talked to somebody who said A New Blood is their favorite. It's crazy.
Awesome.
However, mine is one that many people disagree with.
Oh.
My favorite is Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan.
Hey, right on, man. I just rewatched that not a whole long time ago, but not too long ago.
I'm going to be rewatching it in 2026 because guess what, buddy?
What?
We have not 1, not 2, but 3 Friday the 13ths in 2026.
Gosh. What a year.
What a year. And
What
that
a
means
year.
if there's a Friday the 13th in 2027 and both of us are still alive and we're still doing this podcast, we will have done all 10 Friday the 13th movies.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Amazing.
So, anyway, I know it's not a good movie. Look, I know that it's not a great movie. I remember when I saw it for the first time, it was a long time after it had been out, and I was not expecting much. And I knew from people saying and complaining about it that there wasn't much of the movie that took place in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Being prepared for that, I was able to enjoy the rest of the movie
Yeah.
more than I expected. And man, I just think that movie is so goofy and so fun. And that song that opens the movie is such a mood setter. It is so perfect.
You're exactly
I love
right.
that song. The only thing I don't love about the movie is the actual score. Because the composer wasn't Harry Manfredini, and he wanted to move away from the traditional themes, which I feel like was a mistake. But
I would agree.
But yeah, it's still fine when you're watching the movie. It's just not a score that I enjoy listening to on its own overall. But it's still fun during the movie, and I love that movie.
Nice. Real
All
quick.
right, well, yeah,
I want to say one thing about, because I feel like this is my opportunity.
do it.
I'm just going to throw it out there. I think Jason Voorhees is misunderstood.
What?
And I think he's I would consider him almost an anti-hero in his own mind. And I'm going to explain really quick.
Go for it.
Okay. Because I was like, this is the time to do it, Andrew. Now is your time. So, Jason Voorhees. I mean, we've seen he has a disfigurement as well as a mental handicap that he has. So, knowing that and knowing that his mama loved him, I'm sure it was hard for her to send him to summer camp because it was going to probably be difficult. And he was probably going to get made fun of. But she did it because she wanted him to have a normal kind of childhood and get to do things everyone else can do. However, when he goes there, I am going to spoil a little bit. I'm just going to give people warning a little bit. Okay, I'm going to spoil the first movie. All right? If you haven't seen it, now's your spoiler warning. But, this has been out a while, so I don't feel too terrible about this one. But Jason drowns, as we know or think, And I always thought that he drowned. I did. I thought that he died and came back somehow. He drowns. By who? Camp counselors. They're not watching him. No one's watching this kid who clearly might need some extra help, and no one's paying attention. He drowns. When he comes back to life or comes back to the world, what's the first thing he sees? He sees a camp counselor cut his mother's head off. His mom, who raised him, who loved him, was probably the only one that really cared for him, loved everything about him unconditionally, and he sees a camp counselor cut her head off. So camp counselors in this poor young kid's mind are bad guys. They let him drown, and they killed his mom. So who does he go after? Camp counselors.
Yeah.
That's his thing. And then people are after him, so he goes after them too. But I've always said, I'm like, hey, he doesn't know what he's doing. That was a really traumatic thing, especially for that young man. I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he's misunderstood.
That's interesting, Andrew.
I feel better now. I had to get that off my chest.
Well, that's all the time we have, everybody. No, that's interesting. And let's take this thought process, this thought, what is it? What is it called? A thought
process, right? Thought process?
No, I just messed us both up by saying that. It's a thought experiment.
Oh, okay. All right.
Let's take it one step further and talk about the other series that has a protagonist who is also possibly an anti-hero who is misunderstood. Let's go to the Texas Chain Saw Massacre series, my friend.
Interesting. Okay.
So, other than the Texas Chain Saw Massacre, what is your favorite Texas Chainsaw movie?
So my favorite, and again, I'm kind of doing what I did with Friday the 13th, but I'm actually going with the remake, buddy, which I know might be controversial, but I think that remake is very unsettling. I think the
Jessica
remake,
Biel?
Yeah, with Jessica Biel. I think it's a very creepy, very gritty, and very uncomfortable movie that definitely made me feel pretty icky. And I went, oh, that they did their job with me at least. I felt pretty gross.
Interesting.
Yeah, so again, probably kind of maybe a controversial one. And to be fair, this is the one series I haven't seen all the movies. I've only seen a few of them, so I
having seen all the movies, I think your choice would probably stick.
Okay. Fair.
That's very interesting, and I don't think it's that controversial, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Because the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake with Jessica Biel, not the other one, not Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Netflix.
Oh, right. Yeah.
A lot of people consider it one of the best horror remakes around. So,
yay.
However, I'm gonna address that in a second.
Okay.
Because I have a thought that I think I've mentioned before, but I want to mention here. But I had to think really hard about this.
Okay.
But I am going to settle on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Okay. Nice.
I believe I saw that first before I even saw the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It was another
really?
Fangoria movie that I saw written about in the magazine, and then I was excited to see it. When you and I did it, there was some nostalgia that came with watching that movie and talking about it. So I love that we did that movie.
I know.
We did do that movie, right?
I think so, because I'm I watched it
Yeah. So that's it. But the other choice, the other option that was a very hard choice for me, and this might surprise you, is that I truly believe that the remake prequel, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Beginning,
Yep.
I truly believe that that is a better movie than the remake itself.
I wouldn't argue with you, buddy. That's a really great movie as well. And again, very unsettling. Very
unsettling. My issue with the regular remake was always the last act. I felt that the last act was cliche and just devolved into normal horror movie stuff and stopped kind of being grimy and creepy. Whereas the first 2/3 of it are fantastic. But I think the beginning movie is creepy and gross and grimy throughout, and I don't feel like the ending is that bad. I feel like it's good. I don't feel
right.
I wasn't disappointed in it. So
nice.
Yeah. So there you have it.
Great, dude. That's awesome.
But there you go. Poor Leatherface, he's raised by a family that they treat him questionably.
That's true. Yep.
But one of the things, and this is not a huge spoiler for the original movie, but one of the things that I can't remember who said it. It might have been Patton Oswalt.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Was talking about the movie. And he mentioned that he always felt sorry for Leatherface in the moment that I think Leatherface has just killed one of the guys that comes into his house. And there's this shot where Leatherface walks over to the window and he's just kind of freaking out, and he's just sitting at the window, and the camera is close up on his face, and he's just licking his lips, and he's and he's and Patton, I'm pretty sure it's Patton Oswalt, said that all of a sudden he started seeing this movie as a home invasion movie, but these young kids were invading Leatherface's home.
Whoa.
So he was raised as a cannibal by his family, and all he's doing is protecting his home from these kids who are just coming inside with no invitation,
Whoa.
The first guy walks in and Leatherface opens the door, and here's this guy right at his butcher place, and he just takes the guy and kills him because he just came into his home.
Oh my
and then he just keeps doing that, and that's what happens.
Wow. My mind's blown right now, dude. I love that. Oh man, I gotta rethink some things. My whole life just changed.
This is a series that if we didn't have the rule, I would easily pick the original as the favorite because it's one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
Yeah, done and done, dude. Yeah.
Let's move on to Halloween. And this is a big one because you've got Halloween 2 through 8. Then you've got 2 Rob Zombie movies. Then you have 3 David Gordon Green movies. Am I forgetting any?
Well, and one that's its own thing, Halloween 3.
Well, no, that's part of 2 through.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Originals,
You're right. It came out. It's its own timeline. I'm just talking reboots and remakes and whatnot.
There's a lot. Yeah, I think you did cover all of them, though.
Yeah. Okay. So, other than Halloween 1, what would be your favorite?
This one was really hard for me.
Ooh, I like that.
I like most of these movies. And man, I really, I think it wasn't until this morning I was I have to pick one. Because I was even at work, I was thinking about it, I was they're so good. There's just some... But one thing that I had to make sure, because I loved H2O. I think Resurrection doesn't exist, but I loved H2O. And I thought it was a solid ending, or what could have been an ending to the series, excuse me, which we can talk about another time because that would spoil a bit. But because it was just kind of abrupt, but it was fun. So I really was I'm going to go with H2O, but I was but one of my favorite horror characters of all time, ever, one of my favorite protagonists, is Dr. Loomis, played by the late, great Donald Pleasance.
Ooh.
And I was I have to have Loomis in whatever movie.
Or played by the late, great Malcolm McDowell.
Did Malcolm McDowell die?
Wait, did he? I can't wait. I'm so sorry if he didn't.
I was did this just happen?
Wait. No, I'm wrong. Malcolm McDowell's still alive. My bad.
I really thought when you said that, I was like, did he just die? Like, I thought you were like, oh my god.
No, I'm just stupid.
No, you're not.
Anyway.
Oh man, that scared me. Okay. Yes.
The living, wonderful Malcolm McDowell.
There we go. And he is wonderful. I love that guy. But
anyway. Go on.
anyway, so I had to go with the movie with Don Pleasance as Loomis because I love that character. And I just restarted 4. And I was going to try and watch some more, but where we get some more Loomis, 4, 5, and 6, before he passed. But then I was like, no, some of his most iconic and great lines are in Halloween 2. And then I got to thinking about Halloween 2, and I know John Carpenter wrote it because he had to or whatever. They were like, he didn't want to, but it's such a fun movie that I'm like, that's okay. I know he didn't really like making it, but I have fun with this movie. And Donald Pleasance is such a treat in this movie, and there's some fun moments in this movie, and I was like, I gotta stick with 2. So I'm gonna go Halloween 2, buddy, as my favorite.
There you go, buddy. I love it. I love it.
It was hard. But what about you?
Mine wasn't so hard. It's not so difficult. It's not going to be a big surprise to you.
Mm-hmm.
We probably should have ended with the Halloween series because people might turn off the podcast after this. But my favorite, because I think it's a damn masterpiece, is Halloween Ends. I think it is the best Halloween movie since the original. I'll still stand by it. I still stand by the fact that when I watched it, I was so thrown by the direction that they went in, but I was so thrown, for me, in a good way, that I was like, I can't believe that they're doing this and they're committing to it. And then they still gave us the confrontation that we wanted at the end of the movie. And I just remember, I've said this before, the credits were rolling and I was just sitting there going like, wow. I was sitting there thinking to myself, that was a masterpiece. That was incredible. And then I go online. Oops. That was one of those times where I was like, oh no, nobody agrees with me. Nobody. Everybody hates this. And part of me, wasn't surprised because, I mean, they really committed to Corey as a much a main character of that movie. I loved that aspect of the movie. I loved the aspect of dealing with this town's collective trauma in the form of this kid who, he made a mistake, is blamed for it, is scapegoated for it, and turns to a life that he might not have turned to before,
Mm-hmm.
I just love the idea of collective trauma of this town.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends, man.
Interesting. I knew you liked it, but I was not expecting that to be your favorites. That is, wow. I watched a guy on YouTube talking about that movie, and he was with me, didn't necessarily like it. He had an idea, and I went, I might have liked it better if this had happened. So we had Halloween 2018. If Halloween Kills had taken kind of Michael's last bit from Halloween Ends and ended Halloween Kills that way, and then started Halloween Ends and called it like Halloween Legacy or something, and done like the Corey movie, I might have liked it better. This is me. This is just me talking.
I hear you. I don't know if you would have.
Yeah,
because
I don't know.
By this point, the story is about Michael Myers, Laurie Strode, and Haddonfield.
Right.
Now, let me say one thing though.
Yeah.
It is completely okay for me to call a movie a masterpiece, but still have a couple of small issues with it.
Oh, I agree. I agree with you.
I think it's a masterpiece. I don't think it's perfect.
Right. I get that.
Halloween 1978 is perfect.
Yes. Agreed.
Okay. So there we have it. Now I might throw you again. I might surprise you again. Because I was thinking, what would I pick if I was going to pick between Halloween 2 and Halloween Resurrection?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Season of the Witch, man.
Yeah.
Halloween 3.
Yep.
I have thought about it. I remember when it first came out, I was amongst those who were disappointed that it wasn't a Michael Myers movie, even though the mask melting thing was really cool.
Yep.
But then later in life, especially watching the 4K Blu-ray of it,
Ooh, yeah.
I have grown to really love this movie. And when I put it next to any of the other Halloweens, 2 through Resurrection, H2O, I'll admit, H2O is really fun.
Yeah.
And it comes close. But there's something I really love about the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And the hokiness, sure, and the ending of Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
Yes.
I think it's a great, awesome movie that a lot of people nowadays think got a bad rap back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that I'm hoping that people feel that way about Halloween Ends someday.
Maybe. You know what, though? I will say this. It would be, because I know Carpenter wanted that, where every Halloween movie was going to be like its own story. That would have been really cool, like to have this anthology series as well. Don't get me wrong, I love the Halloween series, but that sure would have been cool, man. I love anthologies, so that would be fun to me.
I think it would have been cool if there had been no Halloween 2.
Agreed.
And it went from Halloween to Season of the Witch.
Agreed. Yep.
Because then you're telling different stories of Halloween.
I totally agree with you. Right now, there's these toys by, is it NECA? NECA? NECA.
Or NECA.
NECA, whatever they are. It's a great toy company. It's a cool toy company, but they have these ones called Toonie Terrors, which are like, you've probably seen them. They're horror movie characters, but like kind of cartoony. There's one right now I was like, oh, it's the Season of the Witch, 3 of the trick-or-treaters in their masks.
Oh, wow.
It's like half off right now, and I was like, that'd be fun to get. Maybe.
I might look that up.
There you go. It's, bigbadtoystore.com, buddy. It's pretty cool.
Well, let's move on. We've got 2 more series to go.
Yes.
Let's move on to my favorite.
Okay. All right.
And let's do A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Awesome.
Just for this once, and maybe for the next one too. I'll start this one.
Please. Yeah, please.
This one might surprise you, and I already know yours. So this one might surprise you. No,
I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
I forgot it existed.
I know. I'm sorry.
Anyway, it's interesting because I did just see 1 through 7, so I have a very clear choice in front of me.
Totally.
And after watching all 7 of them, I'm going to say that after the original, my favorite is A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. I thought that movie is super fun. It's just fun. I told you in one of our recent episodes that when I saw The Dream Warriors, which has always been a favorite, but I didn't know how high I ranked it. When I saw that, I was surprised at how cheesy and silly it was at times.
Yeah. Yep.
Almost more so than I remembered. And that kind of pulled me away from it.
Sure. Yeah.
Even then, it wouldn't be my third.
Oh, wow.
If I was ranking the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I think after Dream Master, I would go with Freddy's Revenge.
Ooh, okay. Wow.
See, now Freddy's Revenge, I have a similar experience as with the original. After the original, I was rabid for Freddy. I was looking in Fangoria all the time, and they started doing stories about this sequel that was coming out. And I was just so into Freddy Krueger and this movie series that they could have done anything, and I would have loved it. So I have like this very nostalgic feel when I watch Nightmare on Elm Street 2. I love it. And now that all this stuff has come out about the undertones and everything in it, I appreciate it even more.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
And then probably Wes Craven's New Nightmare. No, then Dream Warriors. But no, back to Dream Master. When I rewatched it in the theater this past month, it surprised me how much I remembered of it and how much of it struck a chord in me.
Wow.
And of course, one thing that really hit me is I remember that was the first one that I had the soundtrack to.
Oh, cool.
And the soundtrack was a lot of the songs that were in the movie. But I was always a little bit disappointed, my friend. Why? Because my favorite scene in that movie is, without spoiling it, the Roach Motel scene.
Yeah.
that scene begins with somebody working out to a song. That song was my introduction to Sinead O'Connor.
Oh, wow.
It was a lot of people's introduction to Sinead O'Connor. So I was really disappointed that song was not on the soundtrack.
Oh.
But the soundtrack is still fun.
That's cool. Oh, that's a good one. Wow.
So, buddy, what is your favorite after the first?
I mean, yeah, as you know, I can't, and I need to rewatch them all again. I really do. I want to do what you did and sit through and go through them again, but
yeah,
there's just something, and it is hokey, and there are some like really cheesy parts in 3, but there's some about it I just love. Like, I'm like, it's just fun and weird and quirky, and Nancy comes back. Like, it was cool. Like, I really liked. So I got to go with Dream Warriors 3. I mean, it's just a fun movie. I love the cheeseball lines. Like, I'm beautiful and bad. I mean, so ridiculous, but like, come on. I love it. I love it. So there's something about it that's just charming to me, and I appreciate it every time I watch it. I giggle every time I watch it. I just like, it's just a fun movie, man. So I love that movie.
You're younger than me, so I have a quick question.
Sure.
And you told me this, I think, a couple episodes ago, but I just want to remember. What was your first Nightmare on Elm Street movie? Did you see the original first?
I did. So actually, this was fun. So when I was working at the coffee shop that you and I met at, we'd get our tips. And I think I might have mentioned this on the podcast. We would get our tips every Monday. And so Monday, I would take my tip money, and I'd go to, was it FYE? They had like used DVDs and used Blu-rays and DVDs, I guess, mostly at the time. But I was like into horror, so I'd just go and buy all the horror movies I could find because they were dirt cheap. They were so cheap. And I'd like walk out with a bag full of movies. I remember seeing they had the DVD that had 1 through 4 of Nightmare on Elm Street. And then they had the other DVD case, I should say, with 5 through 8, which I think was that Jason versus Freddy or whatever. So I got them both. And I, like, for the next week or whatever, I'd get off of work and I'd go home and I'd watch a movie. And I started with 1 and worked my way through the series. So I was lucky enough where I got to start fresh, start from the beginning and go through them. So that was cool.
You watched them all in one weekend?
No, I think it was like through a week. Like, just like every day I'd watch one. So, a week or so.
That's still super fun.
It was really cool because I was still relatively new to horror, but I was liking it. I was like, horror's fun. I really like horror movies. And that was like, let's start with some of these classics, and there you go.
That leaves us with one series left, and that is your favorite series. So, Andrew, start us off. What is your favorite Chucky or Child's Play movie other than the original?
As you saw, I've been watching some of these again. It's Halloween season.
I did see that. Yeah.
Because I was like, it was after we talked about it, I was like, I got to watch those again. They're fun, man. My favorite, besides 1, because I actually think my favorite is 1 after going through them again. 1 is darn good, man. It's a good movie. And there's there's moments there where I was like, gosh, that's brilliant. Like, this is really cool. That being said, because I can't pick one, I am going to go with my second favorite, which is 2. I got to go with 2.
Nice.
I do want to say, though, I feel like 1 and 2, because I watched them like one day and then the next or whatever it was, they go really well together. I almost would put, even though it's not like Halloween and Halloween 2 that are all on the same night, it takes place like 6 months later, 2 does. But man, just the way that they're filmed, I'm like, these go really well together. Like, I almost would watch both of them. Anytime I would do 1, I would feel like I need to do 2 now. Just because watching them that way, I was like, they just work well. But 2 has such good moments. 2 has, like in the first one, there's a famous battery scene without spoiling it. 2 has kind of a similar scene where there's a moment where someone catches on to what's happening in kind of a fun way on a swing set. I'll just say that. Where it gave me the same feels of like, oh, that's a great, you got him. You figured it out. Good work. I like it. And it has so many fun moments. You get to see Chucky a little bit more than the first one, which is fun. And he still is kind of the animatronic version that's just kind of nostalgic. And I don't know, man, that movie is just a great time. You get to see someone die by a ruler. I mean, come on, man. Or yardstick, I should say. But that's awesome. It's just a fun movie. And it ends with something that you love in daylight. So,
There you go.
You can't go wrong.
The next morning after everything has happened.
Yep.
I love that. Now, I got a question for you.
Oh, okay.
As some people might know, you and I share my Apple TV account with you so that you can watch any of my movies.
Thank you.
The side effect of that is that I can sometimes see what you're watching.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's got the continue watching list at the top of the thing. So if you're in the middle of a movie, I see that you're in the middle of it, which is exciting for me. I love to see that. I love going like, Andrew's watching this.
Yeah.
However, I have a question. Before you started watching the series, it kind of looks like you started to watch the remake but didn't finish it.
I did. You're right.
Why didn't you finish it?
I don't know. And I don't mind the remake. I feel like, though, when I watched the first time, I liked it better than I did now.
Is it maybe because you started to watch it and then you're like, it just made you want to watch the originals more?
Yeah, I think it did, because I was like, this one's fun, but I kind of miss some of the charm of the older ones. And so I think that was definitely part of it.
I get it.
Yeah, which actually, maybe after this, I'm very curious, because when I saw that, we weren't doing the podcast, the remake, but there's definitely a moment that would be a trigger warning in that movie, and I'm curious. I'll have to chat with you at some point, because I'm like, oh man, that's a trigger warning for sure.
It is. But that leads me to my favorite.
Yes, please.
This might surprise you a little bit, but in the end, it might not because of conversations we've had.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm not going with the original Child's Play, and I don't even know if I would pick the original Child's Play if I was including it.
Right, okay.
Believe it or not, my favorite is Curse of Chucky.
Nice. Right on, man.
And the reason I say that is because, as you might remember, after we started doing the podcast, and not too long after, but after, one of the things that I had told you is that I still hadn't seen all of the Chucky movies.
Right.
I think I had seen only 1, 2, and 3, to be honest.
Oh, right
I'd never
on.
seen Bride of Chucky. I'd never seen
wow.
Seed of Chucky. And then I definitely hadn't seen Curse and Cult. So I watched them all. And I remember when I got to Curse of Chucky, I remember just feeling like this, I don't know, like Bride and Seed are fun. They're fun movies. I'll be honest, I didn't love Seed.
You'd be in the majority with that one, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, I loved the character. I loved
Glenn
Glenn Glinda.
Glenn and Glinda. Yeah.
I loved that character. I just thought the movie was dumb.
Yep. I agree with you 100%.
But then I got to Curse of Chucky, and it was almost like a breath of fresh air for me. I was, even more so than the original, I felt like, wow, they are really doing their best to make Chucky scary.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of did. Like, I wasn't seriously scared, but I honestly feel like Chucky is scarier in Curse of Chucky than he has ever been. Even in the TV series, even in Cult of Chucky, I just think that's his scariest movie, period.
Totally fair, man. I think I agree. That's great.
There you have it. Curse of Chucky.
I know. I remember when that came out, I bought it real quick when it came on DVD. Came out on DVD. But I remember I was nervous. I was really nervous because I was like, it's straight to video, which doesn't always mean it's going to be good. But I was with, like you, I was pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed it.
I think I had heard the same thing, and then I started to hear good word of mouth about it. Like people were talking about it. So there you have it.
Wow.
That's it.
That's it.
If you're still with us, everybody, this is our Halloween episode, and that was so much fun.
That was fun. This was longer than I thought it was going to be, too. But it was
Me too.
Good.
Me too.
This was good conversation, man. And this is fun, man. This is always fun.
I hope nobody complains that our episode is too long on Halloween.
That would be a real bummer.
I was done listening to you guys after the first story.
Yeah. You think I wanted a Halloween episode?
Jeez. Well, anyway, buddy, now that we've done this, you can go trick-or-treating. I'm just kidding. We recorded this ahead of time, everybody.
Hi from the past.
Hi from the past. Hi. Hi, younger Andrew.
Oh, hi, younger Scotty.
Oh, so much younger.
Wow. You're just a baby.
Did I ever tell you that I had a life-size poster of Freddy Krueger on the ceiling above my bunk bed?
Yes, which is crazy to me.
I slept underneath Freddy Krueger every single night.
That is crazy. Like, that's... Even now, I feel like I'd be like, I don't like that.
Well, I mean,
crazy.
I wouldn't put a poster of anybody above my bed now.
I mean, that's fair.
Except for you.
Oh, stop. I actually have one of you. Cindy's like, I don't know how I feel about this. And I said, you'll like it.
Especially when you're on the bottom. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh,
we got to end this.
Yep.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Good night.
Good night.
Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock. Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
It's almost time, kids. The clock is ticking. Be in front of your TV sets for the horror-thon. And remember the big giveaway at 9. Don't miss it. And don't forget to wear your masks. The clock is ticking. It's almost time.
Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween.